Hello everyone, welcome to Vegan Sweet Addiction. I'm Valentine, a vegan French pastry chef. It's no secret that people love Snickers, and I was one of those people before going vegan over 5 years ago. The crispy chocolate, the rich and sticky caramel, the airy and sweet nougat, the salted peanuts. And today's recipe is gonna be the most indulgent vegan pie version of this worldwide love bar. If you want to see how I've made this pie, watch till the end of this video. We're first gonna prepare the short crust pastry. Follow me. 65 grams of icing sugar, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, 60 grams of almond flour, 220 grams of all-purpose flour, 105 grams of vegan butter, 50 grams of water. If you want to do the dough by hand, it's explained on the Vegan Sweet Addiction website, down below. I'm going to put the icing sugar, the almond powder, the flour and the salt in the bowl of my stand mixer, equipped with a flat beater until everything is incorporated. I will add the vegan butter cut into cubes until I reach a sandy texture. After that, we need to add the water and the vanilla extract if you want to use some. I'm gonna work it until I get an homogeneous and smooth dough. I'm going to shape this dough into a ball, wrap it in cling film and let it rest in the fridge for around half an hour. At this stage, you can keep your dough up to 2 days in your fridge. I'm gonna flour my work surface. Don't be shy with the flour. The dough needs it or it will stick. I'm going to sprinkle the rolling pin and the dough lightly with flour. It is important to roll out the dough using short, sharp strokes to avoid stretching, giving the dough a quarter turn each time you roll to keep the shape. When the dough is about 5 cm larger than the tin, I will need to make little holes in the dough using a fork. It's gonna help the crust cook evenly. Then I drape it over the rolling pin and lay it across the tin. I'm now gonna trim off the edges with the back of a little knife or with the rolling pin. At this stage, I'm gonna let it cool for half an hour in the fridge. I'm going to bake it for about 13 to 15 minutes. Remove the tin from the oven and let it cool on wire dry. Now it's time to prepare the caramel. Before we get started, it's very important to go through some safety stuff, guys, because sugar gets incredibly hot when you bring it to caramel temperature. You definitely don't want to get any of it on your skin. So when you prepare a caramel, make sure everything is ready in advance. 250 grams of castor sugar, 85 grams of vegan milk, 110 grams of vegan butter, 5 grams of sea salt. I've got a nice big pan because when you're gonna add your liquid, it's gonna bubble up. And if you have too small of a pan, it's gonna overflow and you sure don't want that. I'm going to start by putting the sugar into my pan on medium heat. Dry caramel take a little bit of stirring, so I would recommend using a wooden spoon to bring the outside in the middle. It's gonna help your caramel cook evenly. Now that I have a nice golden amber color, I'm going to take the pan off the heat and start stirring carefully in the milk. And once it's stirred all in, I will put the vegan butter and stir that in very well. I'm going to turn the heat back on and cook it for 1 more minute. Once you've stirred everything in, you might want to transfer it to a big heat-proof bowl. It's gonna help it cool much faster. Don't put your caramel in your fridge yet. It's gonna be way too hot and put everything in your fridge in a danger zone. So I would recommend leave it at room temperature to cool a little bit and then put it in the fridge to cool completely. To make the vanilla mousse or diplomat cream, we're gonna start by preparing a vanilla custard. 200 grams of vegan milk, 1 vanilla bean or vanilla extract, 40 grams of castor sugar, 25 grams of cornstarch or corn flour, 32 grams of vegan butter. In a heavy bottom saucepan, I will bring to a boil the vegan milk and the vanilla. In another bowl, I'm going to combine the cornstarch with the sugar. Once my milk is hot, I'm gonna gradually dilute my dry ingredients, the hot milk. Then put it back on the heat and bring it to boil for 1 more minute, without stopping stirring with a whisk. Once it's cooked, I'm going to remove it from the heat. Add the vegan butter and whisk until I get a smooth emulsion. After that, I will transfer my custard to a container. Wrap it in cling film and leave it to cool. For the dark chocolate, we're gonna melt the chocolate and put a very thin layer in a round shape the size of my tin and let it cool in the fridge. 75 grams of vegan dark chocolate. Now that I have everything ready, it's time for the dressing. I'm using a loose bottom pie dish. It makes everything so much easier. I'm going to pour the caramel in the bottom of the pie crust. Then we need to lay the peanut evenly on top of the caramel so every bite has some. To make the chocolate ring fit my pie, I'm gonna melt it slightly. I'm gonna use a blowtorch, but you can just put it in a hot oven for around 15 to 30 seconds. I will leave it in the fridge for half an hour to let the chocolate set. I will finish the vanilla mousse. 300 grams of vegan whipped cream, store-bought or my recipe. Once everything has cooled down, I'm going to whisk the whipped cream. I'm going to relax the custard with a whisk. Then add 1 tablespoon of the whipped cream to finish relaxing it before switching to a rubber spatula to incorporate gently the rest of the cream. I'm going to put the cream in a piping bag with a round nozzle and pipe it on the pie. You can pipe it however you wish. Be creative. You could also make little individual pies like those one. I personally find them so cute. It's time to cut and serve. Here's a side pic of this beauty. I'm gonna swear it's not disappointing. Let's check in. It's so good. I can't believe it. I think it has just beaten every other Snicker I ever had. Come and try it.
It looks so great.
This gooey caramel is something.
Yeah, it's like the melt of the salty side with the caramel. It's really nasty. It's amazing. Really, wow.
If you liked this video, please subscribe, comment and share. It would be so great. You can find the full recipe in my website, in gram and in cups. Bye bye, see you soon. Non, attends, je peux refaire un bye bye?